All right, today we're going to talk about the all-new 2025 RAM RHO. So let's talk first about what is the RHO. In 2025, Ram released the new off-road pickup that is the halo truck of the Ram brand, and it is the RHO. So it is not a replacement to the TRX, as I'm sure you know if you're watching this video. The TRX got discontinued in 2024 along with the rest of the Hellcat-powered vehicles. So with the old generation Charger and Challenger being discontinued, the Hellcat engines are effectively done, although you can still get them in Durango, I believe. But the TRX production did end last year. Now, all of us can hope eventually we will see the TRX again. I don't know if the V8's going to come back. I think that's a pipe dream for a lot of us. It would be amazing if Tim Kuniskis and the Ram brand could figure out a way to bring back the Hellcat engine. So although we can hope and dream that eventually the TRX will come back with some version of a V8 power plant, right now we have an unbelievable truck in the Ram RHO, and I actually think it'll be a better fit for a lot of people than the TRX ever was, especially in terms of fuel economy. But what's at the heart of the RHO? The truck itself is a TRX with a different power plant. Now, they've done a lot of new things to the interior that we'll talk about today, but from a fit and finish and the overall truck, it is Ram's off-road variant, long travel suspension, Bilstein adaptive shocks. It is a TRX with a bit of a facelift and an all-new 540 horsepower high-output Hurricane engine. So notice I said all new. The 540 horsepower version is new for this year, but we've actually been selling Hurricanes since 2022 in the Wagoneer and the Grand Wagoneer. So the Grand Wagoneer got a version of the high output with 510 horsepower. It's a 3-liter inline 6 with twin turbocharge, and it makes 510 horsepower in the Grand Wagoneer. That powertrain has actually been fantastic. It's been outstanding in the Grand Wagoneer. And was a replacement for the 6.4-liter Hemi. And the truck, the high-output version of the Hurricane, was the replacement for this year's Hemi and the half-ton truck. There's a standard output as well as a high output. Standard makes 420 horsepower, and you can get that all the way down to the Warlock and the Bighorn. Also, the Laramie is 420 horsepower, but when you step into the Longhorn or the Limited, you get the high output variant at 540 horsepower, and that's also what they take into the RHO. So in terms of performance, the trucks are very, very impressive. So I haven't got to drive an RHO yet because the trucks that we have had come through the dealership are already sold orders committed to customers. My truck has been in Phoenix, and we'll get to that in a little bit later. It's going to be pretty fun and something brand new that we can talk about here pretty quickly. But I am currently driving a high-output Hurricane and a limited half-ton, and I will tell you it is amazing. So there is no turbo lag. The truck gets up and goes incredibly quickly, and it's one of the fastest half-ton trucks that I've ever driven, with the exception of my previous generation TRX. But I can't wait to get behind the wheel of my RHO here shortly and kind of the build series of the project we got going on. It's going to be really, really cool. A lot of firsts for the RHO, a lot of product launches that we're going to be able to talk about with some partners of ours that have been awesome to work with over the years, and we'll get to that here in just a couple minutes. So my name is Jared Glover. I'm the founder of Glover Customs and Off-Road. We are located right here in Owasso, Oklahoma. I'm also a Dodge dealer at Jim Glover Dodge, Chrysler, Jeep, Ram, Fiat, and my family also has a Chevy dealership at Jim Glover Chevrolet right here in Tulsa. So a lot of my opinions may be borderline biased, but I'm going to do my best to give you all available information, some comparisons back and forth between the RHO and the Raptor, as well as being able to explain different option packages and what you need to order to get specific wants and needs, and maybe help to clarify some of that confusion to where when you are ready to pull the trigger on an RHO, you have all the information you need to know exactly the truck that's going to fit your wants and needs. So my wife and I spent last week, we were at Barrett-Jackson in Scottsdale for a few days, and it was the first time that I actually have personally gone. When I was a kid, I always dreamed of going. My sister is in the horse industry, so we would always end up at Westworld when I was a kid, and I would just ride around Barrett-Jackson on my bicycle, always wanting to go into the end of the show and into the auction, but never got a chance to until this year. I'm 35 years old. My wife and I got invited, so we got to go out, had an awesome time. It's probably one of the coolest auto auctions that I've ever been able to experience. And I will tell you something that I found this year is the off-road truck is hot right now. Starting with a lot of square body Chevys. There was a couple Hummers and Humvees, several International Scouts, of course, older Broncos, and there was a Suburban with an LS7 that went through the sale. But off-road trucks are very, very hot right now. And I think even in the new truck industry, we're seeing a shift, whereas Ford has the Tremor and Ram now has the Rebel that is hotter than ever. Chevrolet with Trail Boss and ZR2, and then of course Raptor and RHO are at the top of the hill when it comes to performance off-road trucks. So as I sit here right now, Raptor does have the high horsepower crown with Raptor R and their supercharged V8, but you're going to spend well north of $100,000 even for a pre-owned one. And I think the new ones start, and don't get me wrong, I'm not a Ford guy, but I think the new ones start north of $120,000. So I think what is exciting me the most about RHO is I miss my TRX. Over the years through Glover Customs, we had we were blessed to build one for SEMA a couple years ago. My sons were avid Jurassic Park fans, so we built the first Indominus TRX in partnership with Addictive Desert Designs and several other amazing partners for my white truck that went to SEMA. There's actually a video on YouTube that maybe we can show a clip of me doing a launch in that truck with 3 of my sons. I have 4 sons now, but 3 of my sons at the time, and my youngest was in his car seat in the middle of the truck as I launched, and maybe we can show that clip here in a second.
Jet, do you want to go fast?
Yeah.
Do you want to go fast?
I love my TRX. I'm super excited to put together my RHO. I just like being in something that fits my whole family, but that's also comfortable to drive. And that's the one thing about the suspension on these trucks is they are absolutely fantastic to drive. Even after we, lift them up a little bit, put 37-inch tires, they still drive fantastically. So looking forward to that. So talk a little bit more about the Hurricane engine. So my wife has been in a Grand Wagoneer since 2022 when they got launched, and her first one was a Hemi. But then when she went into her 2023 is when the Hurricane really kind of started taking over the majority of the production, and we've been incredibly impressed. So I trust the Hurricane fully. Don't have any reservations. We still, when someone comes in to buy a new Ram today, because the Hemi is gone, every 2025 is powered by a variant of the Hurricane engine. So we still have a lot of customers that come in and they want a V8 because there is a fear, you can call it a fear or misconception, that they trust the V8, they want the V8, and they don't want a V6. Well, the Hurricane is an inline 6, but when you put turbocharged power in an inline 6, you're actually higher performance while also more efficient in the Hurricane than the outgoing Hemi, significantly higher horsepower. So my RHO is going to be the first that we get to build at Glover Customs. It is currently at Addictive Desert Designs. It got drop shipped right after it got produced. I think it landed like January 6th or 7th. Went straight to Addictive Desert Designs. They're in Mesa, Arizona, and they are one of the best bumper companies in the country. They've been phenomenal partners. I've worked with them since 2015, all the way back to a Colorado Z71. They released their Honey Badger series of bumpers for the then new body style Colorado back in 2015. So our relationship, we've become really good friends with the guys out at ADD. They've been awesome to work with. And they've had my RHO for some testing and fit and finish. We actually have a few sneak peeks that we can show you. But their process, basically, they take a brand new truck and they pull the bumpers off and they start their 3D scan process to where they can work everything in CAD to be able to design their new bumpers, make sure that sensors work, make sure adaptive cruise control systems work, and to where when they release their finished product and they start shipping, that you don't run into issues with making sure all of your factory systems. And these trucks are incredibly smart, so the bumper companies have to be prepared to make sure that everything works as it should once you install the bumpers on the truck. So my truck will be headed back this way later this week, so we should hopefully get to see it around Friday this week. It's going to get a spring lift with some 37-inch tires and wheels. Probably going to be running a set of Owasso wheels on it, as well as an Ibex rack from Kuat. So the guys at Kuat, we got to meet at SEMA, and we're going to put together our build with one of their new racks. It's a modular rack that's super, super trick. So keep an eye out for our RHO. We will definitely share some pictures along the way on our Instagram and our Facebook, and we'll try to do a build process video to share right here. So be sure to click that subscribe button, and you can check out how that goes. And we can answer any questions along the way. And then we're also a dealer for ADD. So at the point in time, if you have an RHO coming and you want to build it with ADD bumpers, we can either get them ordered and drop ship to you, or we can handle the build process for you as well. So we're in Owasso, Oklahoma. We're about 15 minutes away from Tulsa International Airport. So if you're anywhere around Dallas, Oklahoma City, Kansas City, getting your truck to us to do a build for you is pretty simple. Okay, so like I said when I introduced myself, I'm a dealer at a Dodge store in Owasso, Oklahoma. So if you have any additional questions that you need answered, please feel free to ask. If you need some help, picking options or packages, or want to know what specific features come in what packages, reach out to me or my team. We'd be more than happy to help. And if you're ready to order, we are doing sold orders at a significant below invoice discount. So feel free to reach out to me. My email is jglover@jimglover.com, or my general manager, Adam, is adamc@jimglover.com. So now I want to dive in a little bit more into some of the features and options that are different in RHO than they were in the outgoing TRX, and some of the changes. We've talked a lot about the powertrain. That was the most significant change between the two trucks, but Ram has also changed quite a bit on the inside, starting with the key. So starting in 2025, your Ram truck can now open with your phone. They're going to come with a key card, also a programmable app, and I think this is coming Q1 or Q2 of this year, to where your phone can be your key to your truck. So for years now, I've had customers tell me, Ford guys like the keypad on the side of the truck to be able to not carry a key. Some guys, I think, stash their keys in their truck and then use the keypad to lock it, and the keys just stay in the truck. So that's going to be possible now with your phone. I think the majority of us, unfortunately, anymore, our phones are attachments of ourselves. So being able to start your vehicle and drive your vehicle with your phone as your key will remove the need for a separate key altogether. Now your truck still will come with keys. So if you want the traditional key fob, that's fine too. You'll have the key card option or the app on your phone. New for this year is the 14.4-inch touchscreen. So they released a bigger version of their center stack radio that's been so popular for years. It's a 14.4-inch. It extends above the dash a little bit, but then they also took out a row of buttons below the dash. And then they've also just released a 10.25-inch passenger integrated touchscreen. So that's an entertainment screen that debuted in the Grand Wagoneer, and Grand Cherokee L. And now they've moved it into the upper trim level trucks, an available screen just for the passenger. It's one-way glass, so the driver can't see it, but HDMI port to be able to stream Amazon or YouTube or any streaming service that you want to stream. Right there for the passenger, with a separate Bluetooth headphone setup to be able to let your passenger can listen to dedicated entertainment away from the driver. So when you go to ramtrucks.com and you check out the RHO, I'm going to kind of walk through some of the new content and then actually walk through a configurator to do a build and price options wise. But so the first thing you're going to see is the RHO starts at $69,995. That's about $8,000 cheaper than the base price of the Raptor. Now, when you configure them side by side and you build out the RHO with a lot of the options that have been popular, the trucks do end up in the mid 80s from an MSRP standpoint. What you're going to see first and foremost is it does look like a TRX. A little bit of update to the grille, but overall body, fenders, it's the same 35-inch tires. There's a beadlock capable optional wheel that you can upgrade to. New for 2025 is onboard power and a powered tailgate. So Ram has the split tailgate that they offer in some of their other trim level trucks. I don't believe you can get that in the RHO, but it is the first year for a power up and power down tailgate. So they had a tailgate release in the TRX to where you could lower the tailgate, but then you had to go and shut it yourself. This is now the first year for a power up tailgate. I've got that now in the Limited I'm driving, and it's actually pretty awesome. There's a button on the side to shut it, just like a traditional liftgate in an SUV, or if you just give it a little lift, it'll go ahead and close itself the rest of the way up. If you weren't familiar with TRX, so TRX was the Halo off-road variant of the Ram trucks line, and RHO is now stepping into those shoes as the Halo truck available from Ram. So the suspension details, it's got 11.8 inches of ground clearance with 13 inches of front travel and 14 inches of rear suspension travel. and they're powered by Bilstein's active damping system. So Bilstein Shocks has a shock specifically formulated for this Ram Trucks platform, and it's been wildly successful with the TRX, and now the same suspension setup is underneath the RHO. So what's cool about RHO is I've had friends that love the TRX, bought TRXs, but they were in either just one of them that comes to mind was has a pool building company, and then another one is a contractor, and their TRXs were their daily drivers. But the one thing that TRXs are fast and they pass most everything on the road. But the one thing that TRXs aren't very good at passing is a gas station. So what at least the friends that I've spoke with, they actually ended up opting to go 3/4 ton or a really nice loaded half ton, but not necessarily the TRX for that reason alone. Unfortunately, TRX, no matter which way you slice it, was 8 or 9 miles to the gallon. Now, I don't have real world driving experience in RHO yet, but given my experience in the current truck I'm driving, I think the fuel economy is going to be night and day different compared to the TRX, and that's going to allow this truck to be a perfect fit for a lot of people that they want something sporty, but they're also driving it daily, and they need to go a little bit further between gas stops, and the RHO should be able to do just that. So I'm going to hop into the build and price tool on Ram's website, and we can probably walk you through this. Now, when you do a sold order with a dealer, the order screen that we work from is a little different than what you see on ramtrucks.com, but the configurator does a really good job of breaking down options and packages. And then if you want to know specific pricing, you can reach out to either your local dealer or reach out to us, and we can walk through, okay, how much does this package add at a discounted price? Every option has a MSRP and an invoice. So each additional option you add to the truck has a percentage of markup built into it. And that's something we can walk through, if you are interested in ordering, and be able to talk through, the cost of each individual option. So at the very top, you'll see that RHO is offered in pretty much all the standard colors that the TRX was offered in. TRX has had some limited editions over the years. I'm assuming RHO will be the same way, but they haven't told us that yet for sure. There's supposedly a new color coming that's going to be available on the heavy-duty trucks. Hopefully that kind of comes down through the funnel with RHO as well, but as of right now, the colors available are black on black, and then you can get a white over black two-tone, red two-tone, hydro blue two-tone, a silver, a granite, and then a new forged blue metallic. We delivered a forged blue metallic RHO about a week ago, and the truck was absolutely gorgeous. That's a new color for 2025. They've allowed us, they offered it on some Jeep models as well as the truck models, and I think it's going to be a really popular color this year. So graphics are similar to TRX. They've got a bedside graphic as well as a hood stinger stripe graphic. There is rock rails available by Mopar, and then, of course, the power folding trailer tow mirrors. So this is a bit of a unique option. It's needed for a lot of customers, but it is the bigger, like 3/4 ton style extending mirrors. And as I'm clicking through this, I see that the configurator makes the mirrors chrome. They are not chrome. They are black. We have one sitting outside with this mirror, and I know for a fact they're black. So ignore the chrome that popped up on the configurator if you're kind of clicking through with me. So, of course, there's the available beadlock wheel, just like the TRX. And you can opt for either a rock rail or a off-road style running board from Mopar. There will be power step options for the RHO. There was a bit of the first one we've sold, we installed a set of power steps. So there was a bit of a weird programming issue between the 2024 and the 2025. I believe that is solved now, but if you run into that issue, feel free to reach out and we can kind of talk through how we solved it. When you get into the interior, you've got the option to do sunroof or no sunroof. And then, of course, there is the 14.4-inch screen that you can add. When you click that, it also adds the RHO equipment group, RHO Level 1, which we'll talk about in a second. And then red interior accents is also kind of interior-wise similar to the way the TRX was, but you can do the red accents on the side of the seats and the door panels and the red stitching. and that coordinates really nicely with the majority of the colors that the truck's available in. So there's a towing technology group as well as a trailer tow group. So the truck comes standard with a hitch. Tow Tech is going to give you a trailer hitch lineup assist as well as trailer reverse guidance. And then the trailer tow group adds trailer reverse steering control and a trailer tire pressure monitoring system. So these options are a little bit unique for an off-road truck because they're not really set up to be big tow pigs. They've got pretty soft suspension, and although they're capable of towing, I don't think the primary purpose of RHO is for towing. Just like Raptor and TRX, I think we've probably all seen somebody towing way too big of a trailer with one of these sport trucks. But if you do want all the technology loaded, these are a couple options that you can opt for that help with that. So the trailer tow group, the primary thing is that trailer reverse steering control, and it's basically a joystick or a knob below the radio that will help when you're backing a trailer up. Bed utility group is very popular. That gets you the 115 volt outlet in the bed. It's got an upper tie down rail with cargo hooks. That gives you the deployable bed step below the bumper, which does also work below the ADD bumpers. We've ran that on a couple of our Indominus TRX builds, and then that gives you a spray-in bed liner. So bed utility group is a lot of value for the money. It's a $900 option. At invoice, it's less than that, but by the time you add even one or two of these things that comes in that package group, especially the bed liner, you're already halfway there just by putting a bed liner in the truck. So now the biggest option is RHO level 1. So this option is it's $10,000, $99.95, and we saw this in TRX when you went to TRX level 2 was kind of the big jump in price, but it's got the majority of the options that a lot of people are going to want. So that it gives you the 14.4 inch screen. That's where you're going to find your Harman Kardon audio system. It's a 19 speaker system in a truck, which sounds absolutely incredible. That your dual wireless charging pads. It gives you your front passenger interactive display. So that's that 10.2 inch screen on the passenger side. Heated and ventilated front seats as well as heated second row seats. And new for 2025 is the massaging driver and passenger seats. So I know that's an option that certain other manufacturers have had in the past, but it is new for Ram. We first experienced it with Grand Wagoneer, and they brought it into the trucks this year with some of the upper trim level trucks, the Limited, the Longhorn, the Tungsten, and now the RHO. Carbon fiber interior accents. Now that was a standalone option in the TRX, but in RHO, it is a part of the RHO level 1 group. And that also gets the upgraded rear seat that reclines. So I don't know if you haven't sat in one of the new body style Rams. So in 2019, when this body style came out, they offered a secondary option for the back seat that reclines the back seat. And it actually pulls the seat base forward a little bit, and then the seat back slides down the wall to put it into a recline. It's incredibly comfortable. The rear seat leg room, I'm 6'5". There's plenty of room for a large adult to sit in the back of the truck. And I know I haven't talked about this yet, but Ram has won Motor Trend Truck of the Year multiple times now. I believe they won it in 2019 when this generation truck came out. They won it with the TRX, and then they won it again this year with the introduction of the Hurricane engines. They are Motor Trend Truck of the Year for 2025. So the last few options inside of that RHO level 1, that's where you get the power tailgate. That's where you get your smartphone key, surround view camera system, and your ventilated rear seats, as well as ventilated front seats. So that option is kind of what kicks most configurations up into the mid-80s. When it comes to towing, when you're considering how to set up your RHO, there's the tow tech group, there's the trailer tow group, and then there's the trailer tow mirrors. So the towing technology group, the trailer tow group, both of those give you some additional options that are, technology features for towing. The trailer tow mirrors are the 3/4 ton style larger mirrors. If you're like me, they're not necessary. They're cool if you just want a fully loaded truck, but as you're configuring, they're not necessary. The truck comes with a hitch. It comes with your 7-way, which I think is a 12-way now, but it comes with all the connections for your trailers. So if you're just towing a boat or a utility trailer or something every now and then, the towing features aren't necessary. So I just want to clarify that you don't have to order the trailer tow group to get a tow hitch. And then, of course, the upgraded mirrors, they are actual full-size 3/4 ton tow mirrors on an RHO. Well, thanks for watching. Hopefully you guys liked a lot of the content we had to bring about the all-new 2025 Ram RHO. I am certain that there's a lot that I missed. So if you have any questions, drop it in the comments below. Feel free to reach out to me directly. If you're interested in ordering, click the link below. Again, you can shoot me an email. Would love to answer any additional questions and help you with that. And stay tuned. We have a lot more RHO content to come. Follow along as we build ours with Addictive Desert Designs and kind of help launch their new bumpers. Hopefully you liked a bit of the sneak peek in the video. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out. Hit that subscribe button for more videos to come.